Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires, where today we are going to have to outperform the auto-resolver just a tiny bit. So let's talk about the difficulty here. We're not given a reinforcement timer for the settlement garrison. I can't imagine they're just going to start the battle on the table. Probably we're going to have to go 1v1 for a couple of minutes before they show up. And I don't want anybody to think that this is going to be like a trivial battle. These are very tough dwarf units. They get a couple of units of flamethrowers here. Definitely something to be concerned about. A couple of units of rifles. And then this organ gun is basically just each one of those barrels there is firing missiles. It is just going to pepper our infantry. And it does not give a shit whether or not you are wearing armor. So this is actually going to be pretty rough. We definitely are going to beat them, especially like once all the chosen show up, and we can just run all of this armor into the backside of them. But they have a lot of very, very tough units here. Like these iron breakers are 85 melee defense with heavy armor and shields, and also they carry grenades. That special ranged weapon trait there is each one of them has some grenades, and they just whip grenades at you as you approach. The Giant Slayers are very good at dealing damage to armored units. They're not super tough, but they are immune to... they're unbreakable. So they will fight to the very last, and they will do a ton of damage while they are doing so. These Hammerers also very good at dealing damage against armor. What advantages do we have? Well, we do have some magic, right? Now, all dwarves, it should be noted, are 25% resistant to magical damage. So that's going to make this a little tougher. We have a hell cannon, but frankly, I think our hell cannon is going to do less damage than this organ gun unless we do something very creative. What we do have is a little bit of range and speed and just like raw crushing numbers. Also trolls and stuff. You know, we're going to be able to wander in and do some big smashing damage, but this is going to be a really hard fight. This is going to be ugly. I am not 100% sure we're going to be able to outperform the Pyrrhic victory, and if all we get is a Pyrrhic victory, we will probably have to run away on the next turn. We will not be in any position to engage that secondary army. Okay, so our reinforcements are going to come in quite close to the dwarvish position. That is actually really great news. That is precisely the kind of thing I was hoping for. I don't know. It's probably going to be about 2 minutes. That seems to be the default reinforcement time. And that's not ideal. I don't really want to fight dwarves for 2 minutes. The dwarves are not super fast, so we can just kind of like lead them on a merry chase for some period of that. We're still not getting a timer. I wonder if it actually is going to be right away. It shouldn't be, but if it is, I'll be fine with that. So how do we want to set this up? I kind of want to draw them this way so that our reinforcements can reach them most easily. If we put the hell cannon here... Okay, that's a little bit too far for it to fire. The organ gun has a range of only 300, so we do have like a very significant advantage there. I think what we want to do is set up the hell cannon so that we are just barely able to fire into the enemy formation, or a little closer than this probably. And then just pick at them and make them have to actually approach us. Yeah, we'll just fire at the iron breakers. So all of the melee troops can just kind of like, honestly, maybe even behind the gun. We have a lot of units that I don't really have a plan for. I'm just going to kind of put everybody in a ball back here, and we'll figure it out afterward. Once we see how the reinforcements... Okay, the reinforcements are coming in instantly. So, with that being the case... Yeah, they're starting to turn the organ guns already, I think. With that being the case, we probably want to be approaching, I guess. Not super fast necessarily, but definitely approaching. I'm going to run the cav up this way. I'll try to use this as cover against any other ranged stuff. And actually, that's going to be the case for the monster core as well. The flyers, let's run up this way. So remember, we have all these units of Chaos Furies as well. They are going to get very little accomplished. Basically, the only value that the Chaos Furies have in this situation is that they can lower enemy morale by causing that being attacked from behind penalty. But they're going to be borderline useless in terms of actually doing damage. All right.
Mortal fool.
Don't ride out on your own. Okay, solid hit. Hell Cannon's doing fine work. Waiting for everybody to actually be on the map. Okay, so we can start issuing orders now. I don't want to just run at them like this because I want to wait until these units are a little bit closer. I think what I'm going to do is try to let's split the force. Try to take at least a little bit of cover from the rifles for the moment. Some of you stay over here. We have our units of chariots that I'm actually going to try to separate completely. A lot of Chaos Knights. A lot of Chaos Knights in this force, which is probably really great news. We have some versatility. We're going to be able to do a lot of rear charges and stuff, but I think it's important to manage expectations here. It is basically the case that the dwarves are going to be very difficult to get to surrender.
Moving fast.
And I know that like magic damage is not optimally useful against them, but I do want to try to get some magic damage in while they're still balled up if I can. It takes so long. I don't know if that's still going to be good by the time I get it. Oh, some of them are turning around. Yeah, it might do. Might do some reasonable work. Yeah, you know what? Even through their toughness, that is a fair amount of damage, and it's like in the middle of that formation and chasing them. So you can see they're kind of like splitting their units up to try to be ready to hit us from multiple, hit us as we advance on them from multiple sides, which I think is fine. It's like perfectly reasonable play for them. We just have to be smart about how we do this. So most of my infantry is still really far out. I'm going to move the Forsaken into the trees while we wait for the rest of the infantry to approach. And I don't really want to commit very hard with most of my other units yet. Do want to run the cav out here. I'm going to set the Marauder Horsemen into skirmish mode right now before I forget. And maybe pull them out to this side. Because, like, Giant Slayers are the perfect target for them. Poorly armored, not fast enough to actually do any damage to like, catch us. They would do great damage if they ever did catch us. That would be extremely bad. But I don't think it's a realistic concern. So everything here is so heavily armored. I'm just thinking about the pink horrors. Summoning a unit of pink horrors to fight giant slayers is very sensible. They're sort of running their giant slayers off in different directions, which is going to be awkward for us. But yeah, my plan here is something like we run the cavalry around through here and charge in the back, and anything that's chasing the cavalry is just going to be outside of the battle, which is great. It's going to work just fine for us. Also should be noted, dragon. We're on the back of a dragon. Dragon can breathe fire. So we should probably just like start breathing fire, honestly. Because I think there's a cooldown. There's a fairly hefty cooldown between charges. But it's probably time for the Chosen to start pushing. I might want to let these ones stay back for a second longer so that if these troops are chasing Cav, they can do that without getting distracted by the push of these infantry. Okay, no, they're falling back into formation. In that case, fuck them. So the hidden foes are just this this unit of rangers with great weapons. I'm not obviously terribly concerned about them. Recharges if Winds of Magic is 15 or greater. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. It's gonna... Our power is going to increase. So these Giant Slayers are trying to just approach me directly. So they're pretty good anti-large units. Like, this is the right place in the battle for them to be. Do we just... I think I do just have this kind of like this whole front just decide not to be over here anymore. Whoever fights them is going to suffer. There's not really any two ways about that. I'm debating whether it should be a unit of aspiring champions. Yeah, let's just do it. Somebody's got to hold him in place while we shoot at him. Actually going to pull the giant around this way, though. All right, you all are going in. Where is my good exalted hero? So we have to be a little bit cautious here because if they train rifle fire on either of our flying units, we're going to be in trouble real quick. Let's move you in and also have you summoning some Chaos Furies. Alright, so my plan with the Chaos Furies for the moment is just to harass the guns while we're approaching. Because we are going to need to get in on them. So these Iron Drakes are bad news for us. I think this is where we need to first focus our ranged units. This is the place to get the initial work done. Try to burn out the Iron Drakes as quickly as we can.
Sorcerer Lord. Bring their heads. All will be despoiled.
Come on, come on, come on. Okay. So you just go straight in there. I hate the delay. I hate the amount of time it takes for you to be able to command new units. Like, they show up on the battlefield, they're targetable, and then they're just hanging there in the air, not working. Let's refocus the cannon over here. And so we have a bunch of units on this front that aren't actually in yet. You can get a decent charge off there, I think. Y'all can just turn around and have at the Iron Drakes. We have lots of cav in charging positions. Please do not ever interpret me right-clicking on an enemy as saying, move to that enemy. Okay. So yeah, lots of rear charges. I mean, a lot of them are going to turn around, and these are going to accidentally turn out to be front charges, but there's only so much we can do about it. The horse masters are doing what they need to do. The giant can hit you alongside this cavalry charge. That'll probably break that front. We have another unit of horse masters over here that probably should be... Oh, I kind of want them to get... I would like them to be over here. And I don't think that's realistic. So I don't know quite what I want to do with you. Get in skirmish mode, just kind of throw out whatever, I guess. Thunderers and stuff are a little bit... No, not really. They are 90 armor with shields. I was going to say they're a little bit more available as targets. Shoot their lord, I guess? Just kind of like... and then I think, yeah, we're going to want to try to run the units of trolls and chaos spawn through this hole if we can. Marauders, just get up here. We'll figure out what to do with you presently. And these dual weapon warriors of Khorne should absolutely follow suit. This is, I think, a good use for them.
Northern barbarians.
Because if they can get in on the back and be doing rear strike damage to these dwarves, they can hack through that armor real fast.
Sorcerer Lord.
All right. Now that everybody's busy and nobody's got the spare time to shoot at you, let's get in here and do some more magic about it. Finish crushing the giant slayers. Okay, trolls. Crush, crush, crush. Murder, death, kill. You know. The standards. Classics for a reason. Okay, that unit of iron breakers is going to need... Yep, okay, we're already on it. We are going to need additional bodies because as things are, we are not going to kill them. So I'm leery of casting damage into this group. I think that this is not an appropriate place for damage. I do think that we need to withdraw this unit of aspiring champions that fought off the giant slayers and now is fighting the normal slayers. Oh, sorry, the giant slayers are still technically alive. Yeah, so I probably want y'all to back up as well. I think that would be really useful is to summon some pink horrors here to serve as tanks, basically. All right, yeah, there. Get in there and just have some weight. All of our units of aspiring champions are taking a very serious beating. I'm going to have them all do their summons and then probably just withdraw from the battlefield entirely. The Forsaken can cross over here and join this battle. All right, we are mostly winning on this side. It's just a matter of keeping things up. So, can we produce a little bit of assistance over here? Leadership reduction is going to do actually nothing. I can, you know, Fate of Buna is a perfectly reasonable damage spell in this circumstance. Let's hit those tough iron breakers.
They're on the horseman!
Okay, the whole lot of you, absolute full retreat. Just get the hell out of there. We need to provide them a little bit of cover to be able to do that. Fortunately, we have bodies nearby. The Chosen can stay in on the Iron Drakes. Everybody else, get over here and make some noise. Yeah, we probably don't need 2 units of like monsters to fight their lord. We're probably not getting any extra benefit out of the second unit. All right, we're seeing some precipitous morale drops. Great news, great news.
Tremble, mortals! Ready!
Keep running, keep running. Okay. Am I not allowed to issue a withdrawal? I guess not. Okay, that's fine. Just get off the... You don't actually have to leave the table. Just get out of the battle. Okay, we have enough ranged fire going in there. Their lord is breaking down slowly. Trolls are such huge fucking babies. Get back in there. The fighting is still happening. Yeah, and then we were like getting it done. It's just taking a while.
Exalted hero. Quickly. Slaughter them.
Here, go say howdy to those ones.
I don't fail.
Charge bonus up by 60%. Alright. Ironbreakers looking pretty down.
Teaches many glories.
Let's get some decent charging going on here. Alright, we're seeing a lot of potential surrender.
God's bloody glory.
I never did bring in the Manticore. That's probably fine. Okay, actually, their whole army's surrendering. So the only troops we have left to worry about then are the Slayers, who will not surrender under any circumstance. And to be clear, surrender and retreat is total victory in this situation, I believe. Because we caught them while they were in siege mode, I think none of their troops can actually escape the battle. Is one of the downsides of entering siege mode. That feels like a much better than Pyrrhic victory to me. So hopefully we will be in position to be able to handle the next thing. I do think that we need to look at the composition of that other dwarf army. It might still be a good idea to fall back and just like take a turn of replenishment outside of reach of the enemy. And then if the other army comes over here and attempts to lay siege to Krakadrak, we hit them in the back as well. Because if we go into the settlement, they will for sure just lock us in there. And you do not get any replenishment if you are inside of a settlement where, inside of a sieged settlement. Even if you would get replenishment being just outside of the settlement. How much? Ooh, 15% replenishment. Yeah, let's actually take that for sure. Okay, no, their army does get to escape. But escape is we use this term loosely. So this army is a little bit less intimidating in terms of actual like ground troops, but they have more long-range weapons, a unit of real cannons, a unit of flame cannons. They have a gyro bomber, which is for real. It is like a helicopter that has bombs and stuff. Yeah, they have a little bit more ranged power.
Let us corrupt.
I think the move here is we want to back up enough to not be reachable. If I get Spirit Leech... Alright, it's just going to reduce the cost, really. I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's very exciting. I might want to just go, like, red line stuff with this army. Yeah, let's do some of this. So we definitely have... We definitely have Cav, and we're building more Cav. We're probably going to want a bunch of the red line skills. Oh, hey, look who's immortal. Alright, when you spread fear, you will spread it more. That doesn't seem useful. We still have yellow line stuff. What am I doing? Let's take the yellow line. Well, more HP is always good. And then charge bonus?
For chaos. You need a boon. Not likely.
So it's hard to know what their actual movement range is if they change out of that movement mode. How much damage did the garrison take? Not that much, really. They'll be able to hold out. Oh, but you hardly have any movement left. I guess I wasn't anticipating that. We could try to ambush them. I'm not sure that an ambush actually helps all that much. Well, you know what? This army is very heavy on ranged units, and if we were to successfully execute an ambush, we'd be like trolls and giants up in their ranged very quickly. We have just enough movement left to go into ambush mode. If we don't get it, though, I'm not sure what'll happen here. We don't have any Chaos War Shrines. This doesn't seem great. What is left that we actually care about? I guess more souls per battle is meaningful. Not hugely, but... yeah, warband upgrades for our Forsaken. Yeah, sure. We'll grab that, and then we'll see what is up afterward. I don't necessarily think moving along that chain is very valuable, but... okay, Bellacor's doing great work.
The first.
Bellacor has been out here and feasting. We were finishing Warp Fire, grabbing Rally.
New abilities.
Rally's a good ability. Rally is worth having. And you are well beyond having anything of value to spend your skill points on.
Ha! The slaughter begins.
So... yeah, I think we gotta knock over some stuff over here, right? We need to get vision of this area and determine whether it is going to be reasonable for us to just leave or whether we have to actually go over there.
Your death will be inconsequential.
It's possible that I should have just run back to the portal to provide support in the north.
The first demon prince.
Maybe. Okay, so unfortunately we don't quite have enough skill points to get standard eye. This is our last one. This is the last skill point that Be'lakor is ever going to gain. So the question is, like, what do we use it on? I think we're already plenty good at fighting. But we could grab, like, 6 attack or 6 defense or something. We could grab one of these boosts. War Beasts, Monstrous and Monster units, kind of not really...
Godmaker.
We'd probably want to take the infantry one here, if we were going to take any of this stuff on him. Spell resistance, 5 melee defense, 10 armor. It's not all that exciting. But we're in a spot where we kind of don't have anything that's all that exciting. I did want to pick up Rally. I thought Rally was worthwhile. I suppose a little bit more, like 60 is not the best melee defense ever. A little bit more melee defense lets us stay in on hard targets. Maybe it is this. 5 melee defense. Yeah, on a bunch of different units. Yeah, it's probably Legion of Doom. Okay.
Back to former glories. My lord, Zinch agrees.
Alright, Tolson needs to keep basically just moving down here. It'd be really cool if we could lure Hellcroft out of that settlement. Then again, we could probably just siege it. Let's move forward a little bit. Okay, so Eatane does have property up here. Ah, okay, there's another army. I was gonna say maybe we just lock them in and prevent them from healing or anything, but if they have a second army that could come up and hit us from the back like we just hit those dwarves, that feels pretty ill-advised.
You may touch me only in dreams.
Yeah, we'll just try to be sneaky right here and see if we can catch them making bad moves. And you are for sure going after Nuln. So yeah, Broken Axe and the Barrow Legion are probably the people we want to go to here. See if we can get bought in. Where are y'all? Broken Axe. -17 trending toward -11. Or... Where was the Barrow Legion? I must have scrolled past them. Yeah, here we go. Okay, they hate us. Yeah, because they hate all the other Chaos Forces that were... Okay. Well, we're certainly not going to be able to maintain a friendship with them, but we might be able to get a little something going with Grom the Paunch and actually, like, maintain it. So I would go to war with Arguelon on your behalf, but I need from you... I was hoping to get a deal out of it rather than just payment. Give you 20,000 gold.
Watch Grom.
All right, trending toward a positive value, and that number's going to go even higher now that we're about to take stuff away from the enemy army.
There is favor to be had.
So Wood Elves can only set up these dinky little outposts outside of their forest, much like we can in most areas. So that's why that was so easy, despite Nuln being, in theory, a major settlement.
I have risen.
Alright, growth, and we're not allowed to build for the garrison just yet, so... Yeah, money making. We're going to have to build this up from nothing, unfortunately, which is a little rough.
Chaos incarnate.
What were you doing? You were redlining. That makes sense to me. So what is our second redline skill with this army? We do have a lot of cav. So it is probably this. Yeah, charge bonus and melee defense makes sense to me.
Glorious tools of chaos.
And we're already up to rank 5 over here. In addition, your wizard shall... gain some points that are not very impressive. You know, actually, spread corruption is going to be meaningful over here, though. In fact, it's so much more meaningful. Let's put both points into it, because this area is not corrupted in the correct ways. Okay, yeah, all of that is set. Level up our monolith, and then probably just hold on to cash from there. I do not want to do an outpost with you. How is the outpost over here going? Wait, am I clicking on the wrong thing? I am clicking on the wrong thing. I want Fort Straghov. Next turn, next turn. Very curious to see... Oh, did they just... Huh. They just rode through my ambush without triggering it. Oh, interesting. I was expecting them to just, like, knock out our settlement over there. But they ran the big army backwards. Malekith is sailing over just to harass me. Dark Elves are trying to sneak up on us all over the place. Crone Hellebron is trying to... She's probably going for that settlement that we have in Bretonia, but that's very weird. These Dark Elves are really just like ignoring everything else that is happening in the world in order to attack wherever I am the littlest bit weak, which is annoying for certain. Once we've dealt with our, like, most proximal concerns here, I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to have to just send a couple armies up to the Frozen North and completely annihilate all of the Dark Elf nations if we ever want to have peace again. Not the thing I most want to be spending my time on, but they are proving very ornery. The number of Carrick-Cadron armies that appeared out of nowhere is actually very worrying. I think the push by our allies on this side of the map is going to be completely halted. That's like 6 full stacks that just popped out of nowhere in the middle of everything that's happening. Which means that I'm going to have like no support over here probably. I don't know exactly how we're going to deal with that. We need to get a portal up as soon as we can. I watch that cooldown like a hawk and just make sure that Intiro's army doesn't get knocked out before we can drop it. But to maybe engage in some defensive play. Sigvald, what are you doing? And, you know what? Frankly, I could really use another army. It'd be super helpful. Maybe we could ask for a little bit of focus from some of our allies. The problem is, if I say we could really use some focus from some of our allies and like make a plan about that while we're 49 teams into the enemy turn cycle, I will have forgotten what the plan was going to be by the time we could actually put it into action. Okay, the dwarves want to try to knock us out right now. I'm really annoyed by this. I'm really annoyed that the small weak army is the one that attacked us first. All right, let's do it manually because if we auto-resolve, it's going to kill some of our units in a way that doesn't make any sense. But that means that the strong army is going to be able to just run in here with no risk. Okay, so they've lost their organ guns. They've lost much of their ranged danger. They have what, like 20% of a unit of flamethrowers, and maybe altogether half a unit of rifles. So we are going to absolutely just win this at a distance. We'll summon up those pink horrors as soon as they get near the bottleneck, and we'll hell cannon the shit out of them. Pink horrors, kind of all of the ranged units up front. Aspiring champions are already up front.
I control chaos.
Yeah, shoot kind of middle.
Sorcerer Lord. See who wields true power.
That was a pretty solid hit.
Going.
Somehow we managed to miss. I'm shooting at the middle in the hopes that, like, even if you miss, you wander off by a couple of degrees, you're still going to hit somebody. But they're finding the holes. They're finding a way to do a bad job. All right. Can I... This spell has a much longer casting range.
Yes, they'll see. I know. I need their souls.
Okay, I mean, that's not the worst direction it could have moved in. That's a pretty solid hit. So, seems like a good time. Oh, right, I put myself under. I keep forgetting. The winds of magic need to be at a certain level. Well, you know what? This is actually probably a good time to start summoning the Chaos Furies, and I'm just gonna use the Chaos Furies to slow their approach. Just fly directly at the rifle teams. Yeah, they'll stop and fight the Chaos Furies, who are basically meaningless. And in doing so, give us time to charge up our magic and actually... There we go. There we go. We're taking... Oh yeah, you can see they're throwing grenades at him and everything. Probably getting some friendly fire damage off, actually.
All will be despoiled. Hey, every mortal.
There we go. Just kind of rain death on them. These units aren't even real, so I'll let them absorb the rest of the grenades. Just kind of taking it easy. They have rolled their units forward a little bit in such a way that I think it's reasonable to just drop some dragon fire. I am going to attract some rifle fire by doing this, which is not ideal.
Moving fast.
Sorry, I should also soul leech their lord.
For his manifest glories. Going. Siege command.
Nope. Dark Sun wandered off immediately. Alright, let's start moving our actual units in. One unit of trolls up here. One unit of trolls right there. The spawn can also just kind of run in. But I think we did a lot of good work here in terms of preserving the HP of our actual units, which was my most important concern, because we are about to have to fight that other army. All right, the Forsaken can probably handle that. The Hell Cannon should turn and shoot at... I mean, nothing here really has any health. I kind of don't want anything else to move forward, if I'm honest. Okay, here comes the surrender. All right, we spent almost no actual health on that battle. Not a single one of our troops died. That's the way we needed to approach that. We need to just like wear them down while not losing anything. So it may have seemed like a an interminable approach to a battle that was an obvious victory, but I was really trying hard to maintain because we got that other army, and it's gonna be bad. If they attack Crom's army directly, I'm not sure whether or not we will be allowed to bring in... We'll see what the reinforcement position is. Because we didn't get reinforcements on this battle when we absolutely should have. I'm definitely close enough to the settlement. We'll see. Oh yeah, hell yeah, I'll take replenishment. Okay. No, they just wiped that out, which works very well for me. Like I said, that avoids me having to betray my own vassal. Diplomatically, that shit rules. So yeah, all these armies are now starving. We're still gonna have the diplomatic malice with the throughout the unclean Clan Molder. There it is, with Clan Molder for a while, but then it'll wear off over time, and this is just the way it's gonna have to be. So that dwarf army ran over and put Nuln under siege so that we would not get any healing and our buildings wouldn't complete. We're going to have to ride out into the field and face them within Tiro, and I'm not 100% sure how well that's going to go. I guess province development point. I still don't actually know what the meaning of province development point is. Then again, 15% bonus favor from all buildings is pretty... Yeah, I'm going to do this one, but... Okay, one of the elf factions was destroyed. You know what? Let's not do Be'lakor yet. Because I don't know. It's entirely possible that we're going to want Be'lakor to come up here. We did get to heal basically back to full. We have the range to attack this dude. Finishing off Cobalt Dringer probably doesn't help that much, but if we were allowed to, if Hargrim decided to participate in the battle, and we got them showing up as reinforcements, we could just like crowd the edge of the map. That would be pretty solid. What is everybody else up to? So Talsin had Tor Ivres get really, really reinforced, which is a shame. Feels like we should be able to crush this army, though.
Kill them all. Unleash chaos.
Yep, they just moved right through us. I'm assuming what happened here is that they saw they were trying to move to here. They uncovered my ambush on the way up, and as such didn't fall into it, but had already fully committed their move by that point. Let me just check. Malekith, you are at war with Eataine, right?
Forgive.
No, you're actually not. That's wild. What in the name of elf peace is going on here? So he's definitely coming after like Leoness or Talsin specifically. All right, Talsin needs to hit level 20 really badly. I think we're in grave danger here.
Now they will see true power. Moving.
All right, I'm going to try to be in sneaky mode as much as possible here, just to avoid Malekith knowing where we are.
Demon Prince.
Okay, and Tiro.
What is unthinkable?
This sucks. This is a very powerful army. And the only thing we can do is go at them. We could unveil the Dark Prince's secret. We have 8 turns before we're allowed to portal. All right, cause immediate damage to target army. Thanks.
Beacon.
Wow, that was significant. All right, yeah, now we got to crush them. Because if I can't heal here, we're completely fucked. We could just accept that auto resolve. It's not terrible. Can I do better? Oh yeah, this is the army with the Chaos Knights and stuff. Sure, we can absolutely do better. Against this force of mostly ranged enemy units, I think we can manage. Now, we are at a little bit of a disadvantage during the siege phase because they do have 5 siege weapons. So we want to close quickly. This is not one of those stand back and pick at them type battles. They don't have any iron breakers. They do have these, I believe, are torpedo launchers, guns, and yeah, they have some stuff. One thing that is really nice is that their gyrocopter there, while it is a ranged unit with a gun on it, which is problematic, obviously, for a lot of, or a flying unit rather, with a gun on it, which is problematic for a lot of stuff. Yeah, the garrison is not going to provide any assistance here at all. Gyrocopters are not actually good at fighting, and Be'lakor is going to rip, Entiro, sorry, is going to rip that thing in half basically instantly. Okay, it actually did the thing. I was going to split our Chaos Knights into 2 units on each side and then run up the sides real fast, but it got ahead of me on that one. How fast are 64 and 54? I'm going to have the monster units go with them. We haven't actually gotten to see our Dragon Ogres in action yet. This is what a Dragon Ogre looks like. Also, they're always electrical all of the time. That's what that audio was trying to tell us. Hell cannons have a very natural range advantage against almost everything, including other siege weaponry. The question is, do I want to move them close enough to actually fire on the other enemy siege weapons? Okay, dwarf cannons actually have 440. So yeah, we definitely should move up a little bit, because their cannons are already able to hit us. And I think the question here becomes, do we focus on the cannon crews instead of shooting at their thunderers? I think the answer is probably yes, actually. And yeah, I think everybody's going forward pretty much as fast as possible. Do not think this is a battle where we want to do anything other than run at them while screaming bloody murder. So I'm going to call that group to... This is group 3, and then we'll just group up the close range ranged here. Okay. Just for a quick retargeting. All right. So group 3, get up here ready to charge. Group 1 makes it to this hillside. All the rest of you, not you. I guess not you either. Yeah, all the rest of you just kind of get up here. You two, I don't know. I guess I'm going to have them try to ride for the flank. They're going to get obviously torn apart. Not much we could do about it. I kind of don't care. Let's just fire both of those, and I think we probably want them... You know what? I probably want them targeting the organ guns, actually. Make life easier on the other, on the infantry. And we're going to want to be very careful on our approach. The Chaos Sorcerer probably doesn't run quite as far forward. Oh, you know what? Actually, I want Entiro to go this way, because Entiro's got to eat that thing. Alright, it's a battle plan. I don't think there's any reason to mess around with this. Just go straight for it. Pretty short. Okay, so we're drawing enemy fire here, and we're doing it on purpose, but it's still dangerous. This is probably a burning head sort of moment, because we can drop it directly across these enemies like this. They're basically doing exactly what I need them to do, which is make the enemy turn and pay attention to the wrong things. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and commit the cavalry directly in here, rather than trying to go for like the fullest flank.
Move fast!
All right, flaming head doing the thing that it does.
Seize the blood.
Wow, that went really well, actually. Yeah, Forsaken of Siege, fucking get him. Don't wait for anybody else. Just start drawing blood. Okay, we're chomping on these gyrocopters. Can we be... Oh, interesting. You don't have portal glyph. Well, whatever. Chop, chop. You know what? Actually, come back around and hit some of the ones that are in the middle. And yeah, everybody else keeps running. Oh, you have portal glyph. $40 attack, 39 defense, with 50 charge bonus. You know, our wizard can absolutely come over here and perform some charges on ranged units. Focus the ranged fire on the unarmored slayers.
Army of the dark gods. Sorcerous might. Yes, lord! Conquest! Chaos commands!
Troll hammer torpedoes, criminy.
Move fast! They will succumb! Finch's many glories! Slanish's perverse glory!
Alright, everybody loves perverse glories.
Running!
Just fire into the backside of the enemy units.
Kill them all!
Again, this is more about damaging their morale than it is about damaging their health. Okay, everything seems to be going well, and Tiro has dropped the troublesome gyrocopters. Seems like a fine time to just improve the damage output of a huge number of my units. Flaming weapons for everybody.
Men of the North! Moving!
Okay, here comes the surrender. And I think we already killed their slayers. Oh, they have another unit. You know what I love about the Pink Horrors is they're having fun. They're having a good time with their job. All right, pretty easy. Way better than the auto-resolver was threatening to give us. So yeah, actually almost a total wipeout. And then we can chase them out of the settlement to finish the job and fall back into it to heal at the end of the turn. So we've dealt with some of the dwarf threat here. I think we've made some pretty good progress on it pretty quickly. Definitely still need to come up with some answers. But overall, I think it didn't hit us particularly hard. The dwarf apocalypse. Our allies on the east side of the map are going to be having a worse day, and we're going to have to figure out how to comfort them a little bit, provide a little bit of aid. Really, though, I do feel like I just need another army. I think we're short an army for trying to do everything all at once here. 9% replenishment's pretty significant versus, yeah, 1800 favor. We'll take that.
Serve a demon prince now.
Okay, Antiro has become unbreakable. We found ourselves a filth mace. Imbues corroded armor. Will spread to enemies within the spread. Wow. Wow, that's a good mace. Antiro, are you armed right now?
Prince.
Yes, but you have a much worse weapon than that. Hell yeah. You've earned yourself a thing. We do have an arcane item slot open. We kind of just don't have that many pieces of functional equipment, though. The Rod of Torment causes damage against a single unit. Yeah. Also take this. Sadly, I do not have armor for you. You're just going to have to deal. All right. Rally and speed and malice is speed and melee attack and missile resistance. I mean, our cavalry units are going to be pretty low level for a while.
Useful adorn.
Because once these things get to 8, we're going to turn them into level 1 Doom Knights, right? So it's going to be a while before they can benefit from that skill.
Good. Now we see. Ruin on end.
All right. Seriously? You're going to make me do this manually so we don't... How would that unit even... Okay. That's fine. We'll do it. How does it figure that unit would even come into contact with an enemy? They have literally no range left. They have nothing they can threaten us with. I guess that's a unit of iron breakers. In theory, they could throw some grenades at us. We'll clean this one up in a very safe way. It's probably going to be like just the Tzeentchian cavalry and the hell cannons and the pink horrors, right? And I guess we could run casters up to cause trouble. Let's move the hell cannons so that they're firing from uphill and in a slightly cleaner way. Okay.
Ascended.
Let's see about a great big fireball. A little bit of the old Rod of Torment. Just slowly transmute their bodies to lead. You know, the classics.
Chaos comes.
Okay, never mind. They're broken. There we go. If your total ranged firepower like outguns the enemy's population size by like more than a certain percentage, it should just give you the battle at 0 losses because you're going to do the thing I just did. Absolutely no version of this where any of our units take any damage at all. So hopefully that unmakes this army. I think that should be second defeat on the same turn, should just delete them. Because I don't want them to spend 2 turns recruiting and healing just over the border and then come running back at us. We're going to need a second to get some shit set up in our new territory.
You serve a demon.
There we go.
Now. Another seat of power.
Okay, back to Nuln. Let's just take a second here and heal. Definitely grabbing stand or die.
Glorious tools of chaos.
Okay, we'll be in pretty good position next turn and really good position the turn after.
Incarnate.
We are... Oh, Jesus. Okay, once the growth building is in place, we'll be doing a lot better on that. 11 turns to generate our first point of population is not acceptable. Okay, so that's all going well. How do we use Crom? I don't think I do want to just run at them. I think what I might do here actually is just sit in ambush mode and heal for 1 turn. Let the aspiring champions return to... Oh, actually. Oh, you need 1 more level, don't you? Yeah. Okay, we're close. We're close. We're close. They got all the way to Doom Knight level before I even noticed. Okay, 6. I'm realizing something. Had I looked at this correctly? Yes, okay. So you're allowed to skip tiers. I didn't realize that. You can go normal Chaos Knights to Doom Knights of Tzeentch at level 8. I guess actually it didn't require a particular level to upgrade our Chaos Knights to Chaos Knights of Tzeentch in the first place, did it? Like it didn't change our level. Yeah, the level up threshold before that I was thinking of was the threshold to take Marauder Horseman to Chaos Knight. Okay, so yeah, still a little bit more distance to get here. The Doom Knights do not have numbers. But I kind of think I don't care, honestly. Like as much as it is nice to drop 45 heavily armed cavalry units into the back of a force, the flying and the ease with which you can target those flying units, it's probably better than the density. Probably. All right, I think I've determined I'm not running Be'lakor back to rescue. So let's just keep burning elf stuff here.
To attack. Time to die.
The Assa will rise again.
We are harvesting an awful lot of souls this way.
Master. The slaughter begins.
So Torfino at least is an Eatane settlement. Yeah, alright.
This victory is mine.
We'll get there. So you're in ambush mode, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. I do want to upgrade these buildings, but let me do a quick once over. Do we have any place where we need to be? Okay, in 2 turns, we have a very expensive upgrade to go here. Okay, this thing has an upgrade that has a another level of the money building behind it. That's got to be a high priority. Speaking of, and we may as well. We want that upgraded everywhere. Oh, the Fortress of the Damned is already... Yeah, we just need money. Okay. Maybe we will hold off on any further upgrades. Ah, shoot. Except this is the turn where we can upgrade Fort Strigov, right? I think I do want to do that. So yeah, recruitment costs down. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And we now have access to the the global replenishment pool, or the global recruit pool rather, of this force. So of those Skavens. So we might wanna start trying to pick up Skaven gun teams. Yep, fully just ignoring everything in the whole world to fuck with me because they have nothing better to do up in their territory. This is a problem we're gonna have to deal with. Right, I was gonna... Shit. Exactly the thing I said was gonna happen happened. I was going to give Sigvald orders, and because it takes several minutes for the enemy turn sequence to run, I just totally spaced before I was able to do so. You know what I need to do? I have post-it notes right... Oop, dropping stuff on the desk, sorry. I have post-it notes right here on my desk. I need to take notes as I'm saying things during the enemy turn sequence and have the first thing I do on my turn be to look at the post-it note I just wrote on, because otherwise I am going to continue to forget things like that. Of course, I was smart enough to grab post-it notes because I knew I was trying to come up with new strategies for dealing with my memory. I was not smart enough to grab a thing to write on the post-it notes with. Ah, crud. Okay, well, I'll solve this problem later. Oh, too many dwarves. So many dwarves. God, yeah, Caracadron is just everywhere.
You have found me.
Hi. Sure. Haha, take that, Dark Elves. Get scooped. Yeah, the Barrow Legion, really, really not into this whole chaos thing. Kind of shocking they were willing to make friends with me at all, given the way they feel about every faction that works like mine. So no matter what, we were not going to have been able to maintain that relationship. It seems like their base revulsion just completely overcomes. The crummy part is, even after we give Sigvald the order to head south and interfere, he's probably still going to sail north for like another turn or two before he starts obeying. So he is probably not going to be available to us anytime soon. That said, we have no other use for the allegiance that we're building up with that faction, so may as well. Crom's ambush wore off literally immediately. Okay, cool. They recaptured that elf town all by themselves. I'm so proud of them. They're learning. Yeah, I'm becoming concerned that Crom is just not going to be sufficient to dislodge the dwarves up north here. Because if they just want to sit in that settlement behind another army in which they are actively recruiting troops, that's going to create some problems for us, for sure. We might be able to take that army just one-on-one now that we're back to full health, maybe? You know what? Maybe, okay. Well, yeah, lots of people being bad at ambushes despite very high chances, because those chances are lies. We are constantly being lied to about how likely our stuff is to work. Maybe what we want to do with Sigvald, rather than having him come down, is have him go after this nonsense. Like, please just make that shit end. And obviously, we're not going to play a real turn here. However,
We shall weave the fates.
allied recruitment. Yeah, sorry, let me put myself in the encamp stance. I just want to see what we have access to. So we have the full 100 allegiance built up. We can get their heavy infantry for like 12 or 13 each. Poison throwers, pretty cheap. Huge monsters at 22. That's fun. Plague catapults at 11. Giant lightning cannons at 12. Their weird doom wheel war machines are available to us, but I can't help but notice there are not, in fact, gun teams in this list. I wonder why that is. There certainly should be. Maybe they don't actually... No, like, we know they have the ability to build those because we've seen them in their army compositions. Yeah. Maybe there are some troops that just cannot be shared? I don't know. Anyway, I do think we are very much out of time for this episode. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. We made some good progress here. We fought through some garbage. Unfortunately, it seems like there is yet a lot of garbage in our near future. So come back next time to see how we deal with the many, many dwarves and our various other predators. And we'll see you then.